Seahawks Today coming up in just a few moments from right now, but before we do, I want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel as we bring you watch parties, live shows, and breaking news. Make sure those notifications are turned on so you never miss a moment. And with the Seahawks taking on the Bears, we at Seahawks Today are battling Bears Now in new subscribers this week, trying to get to 28,000 subscribers and also beat Bears Now with Harrison Graham. Look, we can't be losing to Harry and the team at Bears Now. I mean, Harry with that beard he's got looks like a fake mall Santa. I mean, like, come on now. We can't be doing that. I'm clean-shaved around here for a reason. We keep it tight and clean here, folks. That's how we roll here on Seahawks Today. Let's get started with today's show and subscribe to the channel now. The latest Seahawks news and rumors are right now on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. Let's begin with Kenneth Walker III. An update just a little while ago on a procedure that was done to Kenneth Walker III was not sports hernia surgery. The belief is that he'll be back pretty quickly. That's according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. My understanding is that Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker underwent surgery to repair a hernia, not what is sometimes called a sports hernia or core muscular injury, and he's expected to make a full recovery. The plan is for him to be out there week one if all goes well. So very good news for Kenneth Walker III, as it looks like that everything points to him being back in time for the start of the regular season. Now, let's shift gears and talk about JJ Arcega-Whiteside, the newest member of the Seattle Seahawks, was acquired this week via trade, and Pete Carroll weighed in on the newest member of the Seahawks this week. Here's what Carroll had to say about Arcega-Whiteside. This is a guy we really liked coming out. He's an aggressive catcher, a contested catch guy is what we really liked about him, so strong and physical. He made a lot of big plays. He was a go-to guy in the program at Stanford. He's unique. He's a big, strong kid. He was 225 pounds coming out, and he's like 230 now. He was playing some tight end for them, which we like, all of that, the diversity. I'm always looking for unique guys, and this guy brings something possibly unique. I can't tell you anything, but knowing who he is, he's got terrific hands, got great catching range, and he's a physical kid. More from Carroll. He admits that he had to learn a lot about blocking, which makes him better, and our guys, all guys, have to block. A matter of fact, our receivers blocked really well this weekend. Not always finishing on the guys, but they were really trying hard and really gave great effort, and he's going to have to fit into all of that, and he's had some backgrounds here to help. So, now, that's a lot of word salad from Pete Carroll there. The trade was a win because you moved on from a player that you were going to release or waive anyway, and you got something out of him, even if it's not necessarily a great player in Arcega-Whiteside by any means. But I want to dissect what all of this means, what Pete Carroll really said in that word salad that was filled with pecans, folks. I mean, listen to this. Go-to guy in college? Well, he's not in college anymore. And he played at Stanford in the lowly Pac-12 conference, okay? So let's not get too excited about that. You hear Carroll brag about his size at 230. He's undersized for a tight end at 230, okay? I mean, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, all those guys are at least 250, so hold the phone there. And then the idea about him playing tight end, he was forced to switch to tight end just to try to save a roster spot, to try to keep in the league, to stay on the Eagles there. It wasn't by choice that he played the wide receiver position. And then there's more on Whiteside. We hear Carroll say, I can't tell you anything. That's not good. Why can't you tell me anything? A couple more notes. He says that Whiteside has terrific hands. Well, the catch rate isn't great for Whiteside throughout his career, 45.7. And then Pete Carroll says, he's got a lot to learn on blocking. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you're not wrong on that one. But anyways, with all that being said, this is a project going on for Arcega-Whiteside here. I like the trade. I'm aware it's a project, but it is a long road to get to where he needs to go. So, with that said, do you like the trade? Our pinned comment today. You very well might get an ad break. Take advantage of it if you do and get your votes in. Y for yes, in for no, if you like the trade for Arcega-Whiteside. Let me know in the comment section. So, here's a little more info on JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He was picked out of Stanford in 2019, was a second-team All-Pac-12 selection in 2018. And not only did he go to Stanford, but he also interned with the office of former U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. So how about that? I guess that he's got a future beyond football with where he's going. Maybe we see him in politics someday with that type of resume there. The tight end depth chart for the Seahawks, Noah Fant and Will Dissly leading the way. And we see that Arcega-Whiteside is about your number 5 tight end, so he's kind of just competing for a roster spot. Nonetheless, it is a good tight end room in Seattle. I like what they bring to the table, and we'll see what happens. But should be interesting what Arcega-Whiteside can do in Seattle going forward. If you had to rate the tight end room for the Seahawks, what number would you put on it? 1 through 10. Let me know in the comment section below how you would rate this group. Put a number on it. Very curious what you guys think with this group. I like it. I think it's better than what the so-called experts would give it credit for. Let me know in the comment section below. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the leader in sports betting, and they're offering a great deal right now, folks. A 125% deposit bonus when you use the promo code Seahawks125 at checkout. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, they're going to give you this deal. So basically, if you throw down $100, you're going to have a free $125 to spend. It's quite the deal. You can even bet on the game on Thursday night between the Seahawks and the Bears. Seahawks are favored by 3.5. Over-under, 39. Saw a lot of points last week in that Seahawks-Steelers game. Life's too short to bet the under. Give me the over 39 this week. That's my bet I'm looking at. Get your bets in now. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Seahawks125. Louis Riddick, he'll be on the call on ESPN for the matchup between the Seahawks and the Bears, joined alongside Dan Orlovsky and Steve Levy. And he visited Seahawks practice this week and got a feel for this Seattle team. And we've told you in the past, over the last couple months, Louis Riddick has spoke highly about this organization and where they're headed. And he took to Twitter and even added to what he's already said about this Seahawks team. Riddick says, I'm going to say what I've been saying for a while now. The Seahawks are building something special. It's been too obvious to me, made even more obvious seeing it up close today. They just have to figure out that one last position. And we all know what position he's referring to, and that's the quarterback position. Look, Riddick is right. It is no secret. We've said on this show many, many times, and we'll reiterate again, the future, the foundation of this Seattle Seahawks team is very strong. They are built for many years to come. Have to figure out that quarterback position eventually, but the pieces are there. Carroll and Schneider have done a good job finding the right pieces to build this thing going forward. I mean, you look at this offseason to recap. Look at those 10 moves right there. The extension for DK. You traded for Locke and Noah Fant. You got Quandre Diggs on an extension. And then the draft was just spectacular. Charles Cross in the first round. Boye Mafe and Kenneth Walker III in the second round. You found Abraham Lucas in the third round. Looks like there's a good chance he starts at right tackle. And then Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen you found on day 3 of the draft, and they may even start before week 1. So with that said, the pieces are there. Now it's all about putting it together going forward. This year is not going to be easy, but I can tell you the fruits of their labor for the Seahawks, for this organization, will pay off eventually, that things are headed to the right track. So with that, one question for you. I got to know, what was your favorite Seahawks move this offseason? Of all that occurred, we showed you them just a second ago. What was your favorite? Let me know. You got to subscribe to the channel, Seahawks Today. We're bringing you coverage each and every day and it's all for free. We're not charging you a penny for this. And that includes our watch party coming up on Thursday night. We begin at 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 on the West Coast. A little pregame show for about 15 minutes, and then kickoff. And we'll react to the game as it's going and read your comments and have a great time doing it. It'll be me, producer Chugs will be here. Last game, we had updates coming in from a quinceañera. What's next? Bar mitzvah this time? I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun nonetheless. And you got to be here. Get in the chat. Get it rocking. And we'll love to see you there. Going to be a great time on Thursday night, 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific. Pre-game, reacting to the game in real time, and then we'll do a little post-game coverage as well. Join us, Seahawks Watch Party, Thursday night, 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific, right here on Seahawks Today. Before we go, an update on Drew Lock. As noted, will not play Thursday in that matchup with the Bears due to being diagnosed with COVID-19. And this is, you talk about bad luck, just right after Drew Lock was getting first-team reps in practice for the very first time. Now, to kind of catch up to speed, what you need to know about the situation for Drew Lock, in his first full practice with the ones, he struggled a bit. Now, you have to give Drew Lock a break for this, though, because he had COVID. He wasn't feeling very well. So, I mean, for him to go out there and not look good, I'm not going to hold it against him when the guy had a virus in his system, okay? I mean, I don't know, how the vaccines affected him or anything like that. I mean, but he struggled in his first practice with the ones when he had COVID. So don't hold that against him too much. Pete Carroll says that Geno Smith is still leading the quarterback battle, but you have to think that Drew Lock is certainly making progress competing. Lock was supposed to start on Thursday. We found that out just before it was announced that he had COVID. And so with that, he's losing what would be his start. So you would have to think that Lock will start the third preseason game instead. That's against the Dallas Cowboys. And the passer rating for Drew Lock in that preseason Week 1 game against the Steelers, he finished with the second highest passer rating in all of the NFL for Week 1, 131.1. So not bad. Pretty interesting stuff there from Drew Lock. So we are sending our love to Drew Lock here on Seahawks Today. Type 2, that would be his number, for well wishes and a speedy recovery for the Seahawks quarterback. We'll see you tomorrow here on Seahawks Today. Join us for the watch party. It's guaranteed to be a good time.